Well, good morning, maybe, might be afternoon, or close to it. I wanted to come in and talk about day 3 with the cataracts and healing them, and what I noticed this morning when I woke up. Yesterday I was so excited because it was like, woohoo, I could see so much better. So I was expecting, see, there we go with that expecting again, things to be even better today. So I was very disappointed when I woke up and I did my initial testing of the eyes, that when I closed my right eye and looked out my left, it was like, okay, I couldn't see the sign I was trying to see. I mean, I could see the outline of it, but that was pretty much it. All that clear vision that I had yesterday morning when I woke up was gone. The right eye was a bit better. It at least wasn't really cloudy. And I was like, what the heck? I have to be honest. I'm keeping this real, because we do expect, when we see things going according to plan and according to what you're feeling and hearing on a spiritual level, you expect it to continue. But there's always seems to be let's rein you back in a little bit. Yes, we're showing you that it can happen, and it's going to happen, but there's more work you need to do. Now, yesterday we had another pop-up monsoon storm last night, so I ended up with a lot of grit in my eyes, even though I was wearing my sunglasses that the doctor said I need to make sure I wear, especially when I'm driving, because they're prescription, but to help, because when light hits those cataracts, it doesn't go through it like it normally would because of the opaqueness, so it bounces off and makes your vision even blurrier. So when you put sunglasses on, it helps the brightness so that you can actually see. So yesterday I did morning and night the homeopathic remedy. This time I only did 3 of each on both times, whereas the day before I did 4. So I don't know if that had a difference or not. It's just 2 extra pills of each of them, but you never know. It could have made a difference. And then when I was working with Lao Tzu last night, and again, he had me, this time he did it a little differently. He had me cover the left eye while the right hand was on the crown. And it was like that for a good 20-25 minutes. And then he had me switch and he had me cover up the right hand and put my hand up on my crown. And while he was doing that, he decided to give me a little lesson, which was kind of funny, because he said, yes, cataracts are a physical condition. And yes, part of yours were caused because of the mold that was growing in the apartment that you were living in, because of all the times it flooded, even though the apartment manager said, oh, that apartment has never flooded. Yeah, it flooded 4 times while I was there. So we know she was lying, but the point is that because they did not come, especially the 3rd time, did not come for 2 days to come and check out the problem, that water had to have gone somewhere. And he said, yes, it went into the walls, it went into the wood, it went down underneath the tile, and then guess what? Mold grows. And he goes, you're highly allergic to mold, which I do know. So he said, so yes, there is a physical condition. He goes, but there's also a metaphysical and spiritual aspect that you haven't bothered to address. So let me tell you what it is. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. But this is a good lesson for all of us, because we are all spiritual beings, every single one of us. There's no getting around it. Yes, we're in human physical bodies, but we're all spiritual beings, and we all have spiritual laws that have to be followed. But when we come down here, we come down with a mission. We come down with a purpose. And he reminded me again that your eyes, whether it's on a physical or a spiritual basis, you use them to, as he put in quotes, see. So he's like, what is it on a spiritual level that you are unwilling to see? What is it that you don't want to see about your soul, about what you are here to do, and how you are here to accomplish it? He's like, you have many stages to stand on and talk in large groups. And I've seen this in visions and dreams, and I most of the time ignore it. And that's part of the problem. I see it, I know I'm supposed to be doing it, and then I'm not doing anything about it. Again, he's like, you have many large spiritual gatherings and retreats to facilitate and teach at. You're not doing it. You know you're supposed to. You can see it because we show it to you. Your high self shows it to you, and you're still not doing it. And then he brought up all the books that I'm supposed to, some of them should have already been written and published, but I keep dragging my feet. He goes, you've seen it in your dreams. We've shown it to you in bookstores where your books take up whole racks because you have so many of them published. He goes, you've known since you were 28 that you were supposed to write these books and get them published, and yet you still haven't done it. You're not seeing the big picture. And then he's like, look it up tomorrow when you get up. And I was like, what? So I did. And I wish I could show you the screenshot. If I can get a screenshot, I might figure out a way to get it in there so you can actually see it, because it was very long. So I Googled the spirituals and metaphysical properties, or what it meant for cataracts. And if I didn't know better, I would have thought Lao Tzu wrote what was out there, because it was like almost word for word where he's saying you're not seeing. And that's basically what cataracts are, because you're not looking, seeing the spiritual significance of what you are here to do. You're blindly, it's kind of like putting a shade down so that you don't have to face the truth. You don't have to acknowledge that you're a spiritual being, that you don't have to acknowledge that there's truth. And truth, it's like, I'm trying to think of what the word is. My brain is fuzzy. Probably the mold. But again, it's all about vision. Spiritual vision, physical vision, where you don't want to see the truth. You don't want to see what's going on around you. You don't want to acknowledge that what you're seeing doesn't correspond to a spiritual nature on how we are here as spiritual beings to bring love and truth and justice and unity to this planet. So we close down our vision, in my case, with cataracts, so that I didn't have to look and see what Spirit has been showing me that I'm supposed to be doing. So when it comes down to it, yep, it's kind of my fault. And I take responsibility for that. So in the meantime, we are going to change our attitude. I'm still of expectancy, but I'm trying to back off of I expect it to recover overnight. But like Lao Tzu said, I didn't create it overnight. It's not going to disappear overnight. It's a matter of mindset shifting. It's about really going deep within to heal that part of me. And if you're having the same issues, the part of you that doesn't want to see what is going on around you. You just kind of like la 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 la, and you think everything is fine. And then you wake up one day and you realize, what the heck happened? Everything is not fine. So it's a matter of waking up to see the truth of our spirituality, of who we are, and why we're here. In my case, if excuse me, if I can't see, how am I supposed to write those books and get them out there? If I can't see, how am I supposed to teach? Because I wouldn't be able to go anywhere, you know? Yeah, there's options, but it's much easier to face the fact that we are very powerful souls. And we have the ability within all of us to heal ourselves, our planet, the animals, the birds, the fishes, yeah, the creepy crawlies and the slithering ones, but also the standing people. And I love this bird. He's just chirping up a storm over here. So not only is it a physical healing of doing the naturopathic remedies or the homeopathic remedies, using the castor oil, flushing the eyes out so that anytime anything gets in them or as the cataracts start breaking up, it flushes out so that it's not scratching the eyeball. But it's also working with the mindset, working with spirit to know that always go deeper whenever there's a physical issue. We created it for a reason. And that's what Lao Tzu was explaining last night. I needed to go deeper and look at the spiritual and metaphysical significance of what a cataract is. Why you would put it there on a spiritual level, because you're not willing to look and see what it is you're supposed to be doing, why you came here, how to go about doing what you came here to do, especially if you're a healer or a spiritual teacher. It needs to be truth, and it needs to be deep spiritual truth. And that means even when you make a mistake, you admit it. When you know you have a problem with patience, you admit it. Yes, I am not the most patient person in the world. And that's okay for now, because I'm working on it, I acknowledge it, and I'm working on it. So if you're having issues with your eyes, or even your ears, because like even my ears are still with the eczema. Again, what is it do I not want to hear? So you always have to go on a deeper level, metaphysically and spiritually, to find out what it is that might be the underlying cause, because there's always an underlying cause for any disease, any issue that we are experiencing. So we will continue our protocol. We will continue the healing with Lao Tzu, and if I can get a screenshot of what I found about spiritual meaning of cataracts, I will get a screenshot of that and I will post it on, I think it's the community page, or put a post in there about it, so that you guys can read the full, because it was quite a bit. And it was interesting that it pretty much hit all the talking points that Lao Tzu brought up with me last night. So I hope you guys have a very beautiful day. And remember, walk in beauty, my friends. Walk in beauty. Bye for now.